I'm Rishabh Bhandawat, and I'm a first-year PhD student at the University of Buffalo. I'm a teaching assistant at the school, and I teach a freshman course called Engineering Seminar, and it's basically teaching freshman students how to think like an engineer and go through the process of the mindset of an engineer. I've been an Informs member for, this would be my second year. I was very overwhelmed last time, and this time I know what I'm doing, so I know how to look for what workshops are interesting to me. And it's so nice to know that I've made friends and colleagues in the community that know me, and not just for the work, but also just being good friends and connecting. Looking at the program book well ahead in time before you come to the conference is a good strategy. And if you like somebody's work and that you may want to collaborate with them, there is no harm in going up to them and asking, hey, I liked your work. I always think if you don't ask, the answer is no. So always ask. And everyone is approachable. If you didn't ask, the answer is no. So there's no harm. They'll say, no, we don't have the bandwidth or whatever. There are two things that happened. It was the student chapter, the Informed student chapter at University of Buffalo. They were doing elections, and I wasn't, so when I started my master's program, I didn't anticipate working in OR. I wasn't looking at a concentration, but eventually my research interest aligned with OR. So I went to the first conference because my advisor thought I had work that was ready and presentable. And those two things, so the student chapter, and I joined as a member before the conference.
Okay.
I think a couple days before registration closes. Yeah, it's just, and the student chapter, I've been part of the student chapter now. I started off as the events, helping out with the events, and now I'm on the e-board for communications for the student chapter. And it's so nice to see that in the 2 years that I've been a part of Inform, the student chapter, the chapter has grown so much. As a student leader, the Student Leadership Conference is beneficial. The opportunity to come and present at Informs, the numerous awards that are available, access to so many societies and their work, Informs Connect for job opportunities, and just you can reach out with questions, and I have this question, someone interested in answering that. So Informs Connect is a big tool that I like to use, and I foresee people using too. I did not know that I wanted to do OR. I didn't even plan on doing research. One thing led to the other. I took a facility location class with Dr. Bada, and couple months later, I'm like, I think I want to do research, and can we do something food related and a location planning for in a food facility. That evolved as my project, my master's thesis for location optimization for a food truck. So completely different from what I had thought, and I liked what I was doing, and then I decided to join the PhD program. So I am the moderator of the community page. Any discussions that the members of the community have, if there are anything that can be hurtful, I have to either remove them or change, just modify them, so change the language. But if it's it can be hurtful to someone's sentiments, I have to remove them from the page. I also work towards LGBTQ representation within Informs. So one thing that members can do, not just for LGBTQ, but also is to fill out their information. So go back to when they signed up, fill in what their profile, complete their profile, because I think 52%, I think that's the number, I'm not 100% sure. A large number of members are undefined, so they either do not have their gender information or their ethnicity, and I want to add more genders to to the drop down, not just male and female. And someone can say, I do not identify as any particular one. So, and it'll be nicer if all the members filled out their profile, so we know what population we are catering to, and that way the diversity community can help members that are either underrepresented or there are needs of, even if it's 5 people, even if 5 people need something that they feel that they can't, it's because they are not heard, would be beneficial for the community. Couple of things come to mind. I was just a thought that popped in my head at this annual conference was there are no single stall or gender neutral bathrooms. They''re all male or female. And if someone doesn't identify as one, or if someone is shy to use either one, they either have to go back to their hotel room, which can sometimes, in a busy schedule, when you're running around from one workshop to the other, it can be a little difficult. So maybe just a couple gender neutral bathrooms or single stall bathrooms that can be set aside for anyone to use. That would be nice. A mentorship program for LGBTQ. It could just be the mentor need not identify as LGBTQ. They could be an ally, but help them propagate through graduate school or postdoc. Even assistant, even professors, like younger professors can learn from older professors. So just some sort of mentorship program would be, these are 2 things that. I think I use Instagram the most. It's easier maybe, and Twitter. I do use Twitter and Instagram. So 2 things. Instagram the most is because even if I'm not paying attention, I think sometimes my thumb just goes to the icon, and then Twitter. I get a lot more information on events and things happening at different student chapters and also within Informs through Twitter. I use Instagram more for recreational or like fun. But Twitter would be, if I were to post something that happened today, or if there was a cool thing happening, I would post that on Twitter or get that information from Twitter, and would not really associate Instagram with that. A typical weekend is catching up on some grading. I'm part of a dodgeball league, so play dodgeball. Then there's an after party that comes with the dodgeball league. So go unwind a little, and then just relax a little. Just read not scientific journals or research journals, and do recreational reading and catch up on TV shows. Grey's Anatomy? Yeah. I think I watch more TV show than a graduate student should. Oprah. I just want to see how she has advocated for women and grown as a person from nothing to everything. And maybe if we were looking in my field, I would want to talk to Bixie, Dr. Bixie, Gurubi, to see how he developed both CPLEX, and the team developed CPLEX and Gurubi. Something that uses food supply chain, work in the food supply chain industry, and may potentially work towards making lives easier for people in the third world country, for food equity. There's more food in certain areas and less food, so just have everyone be given the same amount of food. I feel like food is a basic human necessity, and not one person should be void of food, irrespective of what socioeconomic standard they were born into. They should have at least food and clean water. The future of OR would be if we used, there are a lot of intelligent people in the community, 11,000 above, 12,000. If we work towards one noble problem every year, we could potentially make the world a much better place to live in, and do all the fun stuff, and do all the machine learning, make cool robots, and that too, but solve the problem for food and energy and environment. It's all possible if we put our minds together.